We'll talk. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. It's Barnes, it's Tony, it's Michael, it's Renee on the couch, and it's a football Friday.
Yeah, I love to see it. Frenzy time, Friday time. Yeah. Pump for this weekend.
Let's go. Let's go. Before we get started, though, how was the gym this morning?
I didn't go to the gym.
He needed a rest day.
Wow. Yeah. What about you, Michael?
I did. So Tony and I hit everything this week.
Okay.
So what I did was just a light, very light, more so to get my whole body moving of each body part.
Okay.
One time. So like one shoulder exercise, one leg exercise. Not even, I did the squat, but the assisted squat thing where it has like the pads.
Yes.
It's over by the green. Very chill, very relaxed. No one in the sauna today, by myself.
Oh, stretch it out.
I stretched
down.
it. Yeah, dude, I stretched in the sauna. I had a feeling no one was going to be there just because you could tell with the crowd.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, all right, there's a good amount of people here. Let's say I get in at 4:35 and there's a good amount of people already there. I'm knowing, all right, that group there's some of them that are going to hit the sauna.
But right.
But it's usually 1, 2, nothing crazy. But yeah, it was chill. Did a little jog too, just because we worked out really hard this weekend. I could just feel my body being so tight.
Yeah.
That just moved. I needed to move it.
All I could say is, we talked about this for the show. I cannot wait to get out of this first time soreness stuff. I know. So annoying. Like, no, literally, I'm in bed just like adjusting my pillow, and I'm just shooting pain down my whole chest. I did just 3 days ago. I made his shoulders yesterday, but what I'm saying is that's just how it is. That's
right. But is it like a feel good sore a little bit?
Honestly, no. Oh. It almost just gets me a little tight. Like I'm sticking through it though, because obviously at the end of the day, everybody wants results, of course. So I'm more focused on, just losing weight versus like being jacked. But at the same time, I think it's good to be well-rounded. But it's just, I feel like I can get my workout in, like how you like running and that feeling of, oh my. Last 2 weeks I've been able to get through I did 2 days of lifting each week. So just, it's been 5 years of, full time. So
yeah, no, it's good, dude. You look good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's what we got for the gym. But let's go, Tony, to the world of the National Football League.
Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins.
Do not stand up with that man and let him just throw you out of the club.
It's on its way. It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good.
And it's good.
Oh my goodness!
It got unplugged.
I can't believe you did this.
I know, right?
Unbelievable. But like we said before the show, Tony, unbelievable that it's divisional playoff weekend.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Just so excited. And I just feel like very possible that all these games are one possession games. Honestly, I think these are very evenly matched games. Maybe I could see potentially one game being a blowout, but even that, too. I'm just not seeing it. But obviously,
I think I could see 2 games being
we'll go game by game, and let's just start the first game of the weekend on Saturday, 4:30 CBS. Bengals at Titans. Titans 3.5-point home favorites coming off the bye, of course. Total set at 47.5. Of course, the expected return of King Henry. Who missed, I think, 9-10 weeks, with his foot injury. So to have him back, I mean, it's just huge for this Tennessee team. Obviously, the folks in Nashville are going to be pumped up getting this home game. Joe Burrow, this is a tough spot for him to be in. His first career road playoff game as well. But it's just kind of a weird game because you feel like, okay, at the end of the day, Titans are the number 1 seed in the AFC. So, of course, that's why they're favored. They're at home. But it's like, how are they going to work Henry back in? Is he going to just be full force, ready to go after such a long layoff? And then Burrows looks so good. But it's like, how's he going to play on the road? Is his offensive line going to give him time to throw? So those are kind of the things you think about here. I mean, what do you have in mind when you're looking at this matchup?
I think Henry might be a little slow, just because like we say, he's been out for 9 weeks now. Excuse me. And we've seen him get shut down by a few teams this season as well too. So I think it's very possible that the Bengals defense could kind of do a good job of keeping up with him and keeping him contained. And because of that, I think maybe they're going to use Tannehill a little bit more than they want to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He may have a couple of mistakes being made, maybe a couple of interceptions. And I do think Burrow is going to rise to the occasion. This is one of the games I think that could be potentially kind of a blowout, honestly. I could see the Bengals just coming out hot with Burrow.
Chase.
Exactly, Chase, and just kind of never stopping. So, honestly, I'm going to go Bengals for this game. I'm going to say they win it 34-21.
34-21. Okay, so an over, and then the Bengals obviously covering the +3.5 there. I agree with you. I just think if Henry had maybe even just 2 games at the end of the season to kind of get back into things, but it's a tough spot, and we've seen many times before that number 1 seed coming off the bye, the layoff, and they're just out of sync, and then you're throwing in your best player that hasn't been there. Everything points to a Bengals win, but I do think it's going to be tough. The crowd and being a road game for Burrow, but him stepping up and winning this game and going to an AFC Championship game in his second season in Cincinnati. I mean, he's already a legend. Oh yeah, doing that. So I think he does it, and I do think though it's going to be close to start, pull away a little bit at the end. But give me Bengals 31, Titans 21, and Joe Burrow is on to the AFC Championship game.
Love to hear it.
Michael.
I'm with you, Barnes. Joe Burrow all day, another cigar in the mouth, but not a high celebration because, he's all about his business. He'll celebrate with the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I'm going with Burrow, dude. Do you see the stats? They compared it. It's like almost damn near identical to that LSU run that he's having right now.
Yes, dude.
It's ridiculous. Like, the stats are like couple yards off. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I love what Burrow's doing. It's very fun to watch. Yeah. And I just love, like you said, about him as a person. It's just so enjoyable to watch.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. Some of these guys are just so full of themselves, and that's not what he is. He just wants to win. And it's all business.
Real quick, adding to that, like, have you ever seen when he won the Heisman, some reporter showed him a photo of him, and he looks like a total nerd, you know, playing football when he was young. She's like, what would you say to this kid right here? He goes, you look like a Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So second game of Saturday, we got the Niners, we got the Packers, we got Lambeau Field, we got under 10 degrees by the time kickoff at 8:15 on Fox. Buck, Aikman, the whole crew. So the Packers here, 5.5-point home favorites. Total set at 47. Randall Cobb expected to be back for the Packers. And there's still some questions about linebacker Fred Warner, as well as defensive end Nick Bosa, about their availability for this game, which I think is going to make or break this game potentially. So a lot of question marks there. These teams have matched up a lot in the postseason in the past. It was a close game this year. The Packers winning 30-28. Packers undefeated at home this year as well. So they've been playing well at home. What do you see in this game, Tony?
Well, to kind of piggyback off of you, I mean, obviously playing at Lambeau, it obviously is a factor here, especially this season. And yeah, having, if Bosa plays for San Fran, I mean, obviously that's a big part of their defense. I do think, even though the 49ers have a really good defense all around, both rushing and passing, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have much of an issue generating good offense. I mean, I think his last 7 games, he hasn't had any interceptions, which is honestly, I think, ridiculous. So I wouldn't really expect him to make many mistakes. I would expect Garoppolo maybe to make some mistakes. We talked about how the Packers are a very opportunistic team. When they do kind of recover the ball and force turnovers, they typically get points out of it. So I would expect, like I said, I think the 49ers are going to end up kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. I think the Packers are come out away with it. Again, this is another game I think that could get ugly. So disrespectful, Michael.
I know. No, I know what he's saying. He's saying the Packers are so good. It's crickets. There's nothing to say. It's all about Rodgers.
Yeah, obviously, I think it is all about Rodgers. I think that, maybe San Fran kind of hangs around with him for the first half. But again, I think maybe a few mistakes catches up with Garoppolo. I say the Packers take this one, let's say 27-17.
Yeah. I think that's just about right. That would be an under game as well. And they were talking about it today on Rothenberg, in the morning there. And basically, I mean, it's hard to argue that there's any player in this playoffs with more pressure on him than Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, given all the the nonsense and the background noise coming into the season, the drama with the poor performance in the first game, that stint where they had a lot of injuries and stuff. He was playing with pretty much no one, no starting wide receivers. There's a lot to it, and obviously people are expecting him to win at this point.
Yeah, and the fact that he's been at it for so long, he looks so good, but then to lose these championship games at home, and he'd have another one if he wins this game. It just feels like you gotta get to the Super Bowl,
right?
But yeah, I don't expect them to have any trouble here. And also, I did hear on Rothenberg as well that Garoppolo is dealing with some type of shoulder ailment. So you package that in with the weather. Right. I mean, I actually think this could get ugly. So I'm going to say Packers 31, Niners 10. It's they just don't have the horses here. So it's an under, it's Packers, and it's Rodgers. Once again, Lambeau, NFC Championship game. Obviously, the question is, who's he going to face? Find that out in a sec.
We'll find that out Sunday.
Well, I'm saying what we're suggesting, Tony. And I'm guessing for you, Michael, you're riding the Rodgers train here.
Yeah, whatever Tony just said, I liked it.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
I think they can contain Debo,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be much of an issue.
It's just like what you were saying with Rodgers and how he hasn't thrown the picks and stuff. It's like he's a robot out there. It doesn't matter what defense you throw at him.
Dude, he's so fucking good.
Dude, the balls, his throws
laser
on a rope.
Yeah.
Don't even move.
Dude, it's
unbelievable.
It's crazy that he does it on the run, too.
Yeah. Yes. And that he can move pretty good for being 37.
Right. Dude, he moves amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like he hasn't even lost a step. He just doesn't do it as much.
And his insickness with Devontae Adams is unbelievable. On a dime, sideline, one hit. I mean, he just make all
knows
throws.
where it's going to be from him.
So I think that's what we'll see on Saturday in Lambeau. Sunday, so we got 2 games. Weird start times, 3 and 6:30. The first one is going to be a Chris Collinsworth, Al Michaels special, Tony. The Rams at the Bucks, rematch of the regular season. Rams won by 10. Bucks 2.5-point home favorites here. Total set of 48. We know all the injuries and Antonio Brown, this, that. Bucks have had to deal with, and their top offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs is questionable for this game and more looking like doubtful. So that's a blow, obviously, on the offensive line. I think Fournette should be back, but we already know they're down a couple of receivers. So he's just really working with Mike Evans, Gronk, and a bunch of guys that no one knows much about. You got Grayson, you got Johnson, but we've seen it with Brady before. Doesn't matter who's around him. He's always able to make throws. But that being said, I mean, the Rams, like I said, beat him earlier in the year by 10. At that point, they didn't have Von Miller, who's obviously aiding their defense, as well as Eric Weddle, who made his season debut, after 2 years off yesterday. And I just think this is a tough matchup for the Bucks. I think if they were playing the Niners, it would be easy.
Right.
But because it's the Rams, because it's Aaron Donald, because Wirfs most likely won't play, I have to say, I mean, I think this sets up for an upset for victory for the Rams.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Bards. In terms of them beating them in the regular season. Last season the Rams beat the Bucs in the regular season as well. We all know what happens last season. And in terms of their banged up O-line and Aaron Donald kind of coming at Brady, I feel like no one in the league consistently gets rid of the football quick enough other than Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll have much of an issue. I would say maybe one issue is maybe who he's targeting. Obviously, there's Antonio Brown. Who's the receiver that got hurt with the knee injury? Chris
Godwin,
right?
Yep.
There's no Godwin, who's their best receiver,
right? Antonio Brown's doing podcasts,
right? So I mean, it's going to be tough. Of course, I guess Mike Evans is going to be the key guy,
right? And then what happens if he pulls a hammy first drive?
Exactly, and I think it was last week when they had a little bit of a, they weren't exactly in sync to start the game off and stuff.
Yeah,
he had a few drop passes, so I think that's something I'm worried about. But I don't know, dude. I just feel like you really never bet against Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I said this last week that Stafford may have a clunker of a game. I still think that's pretty possible here. I think the Buccaneers have an uphill battle here, but I think Tom Brady's going to pull it off. I think maybe the Rams are giving the ball late in the fourth quarter with way too much time on the clock. I'm going to say the Bucs take this one in a 34-30 victory.
Wow.
Yeah.
So high scoring over the Bucs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we're gonna see Rams 20, Bucs 17. Brady sacked 9 times as he reconsiders coming back next season. And Stafford is on to Lambeau, where he's gonna get absolutely demolished next week. But let him enjoy this right. one. He's in Florida. Have a good time after the game, early game. Have a nice dinner. 20-17. Give me the Rams. I have a feeling I know where Michael's going, but I have to ask him anyway.
9 times.
I'll go Rams.
Wow. I feel like that was on purpose because I said that.
Definitely. Renee, what do you got?
Yeah, Renee, give us something.
Who you got, Renee?
Rams or Bucs?
Your mic's right there.
Oh.
Rams or Bucs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Wow.
This is bullshit.
Very smart of you, Renee. Very smart of you. So I think it'll be a good game. Looking forward to watching it. And how quick Matthew Stafford's playoff narrative could change if he wins this game.
Oh my God. It will change is what it is. Yeah, just like that.
So looking forward to watching that 3:00 NBC. And then the last game of the weekend, quite possibly the best matchup of the weekend. It's Bills, it's Chiefs, it's Arrowhead, it's Chiefs, 1.5-point favorites. Total set at 54. It's Josh Allen on the road here. It's 6:30 on CBS, Tony. It's Nance, it's Romo, it's Tracy Wolfson. And I think also, by the way, it's the first time in the playoffs 2 quarterbacks facing each other after they each threw 5 touchdowns the week before. So a little history for this game. But, I mean, what do you got here?
Speaking of the 5 touchdown performances, I think we're going to see something like that out of both quarterbacks again this weekend. I think it's going to be incredibly high scoring, high octane. I really don't think, either both teams are going to be neck and neck. Neither of them really missing a step until the end here. I really think it's going to matter in terms of who has the ball late in the fourth quarter as the game is ending. Over under here is set at 54. I think it's going to go over, honestly. I say the Bills end up winning this one. Give me a score of 38-35.
38-35.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 73 points.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. Bills Mafia, Adam Shine,
dude.
all of that, but it's Mahomes, the only home playoff loss of his career against the Patriots. Some questionable calls, D Ford offsides, the roughing the passer. So bless you.
Thank you.
I just think, Mahomes has been rolling, and while Allen looked great last week, I think Arrowhead is just a completely different animal. He's not playing a team like the Patriots that doesn't belong in the playoffs. And I think that's just the difference here. While I do think he'll play pretty well, I just think Mahomes is literally going to get everything he wants on the field. Hill streaking down the field. Maybe Kelsey throws another touchdown pass. So Chiefs all day here. Give me the Chiefs 45 and the Bills 30. And Patrick Mahomes is on to the AFC Championship game for the 4th year in a row.
We'll see. Yeah,
It'll be a good game, though.
It'll be a great game.
You'll be tight early, pull away late. But I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I know. And dude, speaking of Travis Kelce, you see last week his mom flew
to see
Philly
and then went to Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Dedication,
Both
Tony.
games, dude.
Passion,
love for the children.
Yeah. I mean, that
is what it's all about. And free tickets.
Yeah, I mean, free tickets are nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am very much so looking forward to watching these games. And I guess you would say Sunday's slate is better, but not to say that Saturday is a slouch by any means.
Also, I'm looking at some news here.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry is watching us.
What's up, Derek?
Hey guys. Oh, hi, Derek. Good to see you.
I feel like there's so many Tony Burner accounts out there.
Honestly, ridiculous. I think I do have some breaking news here. Looks like the Giants just hired a GM, Joe Schoen. Anyone?
And he doesn't say where he's from?
Yeah, I can look him up.
Barnes isn't impressed, Tony.
I mean, I don't know who this guy is, so it's like, I don't know. Joe Schoen. Looks like maybe he worked for the Bills before. Dolphins, whatever, dude. Joe Schoen has second G. Okay, dude.
Bills.
Who's the Bills?
Bills front office. So I like that.
Bills assistant GM.
And actually, Tony,
That's good.
what they were talking about was bringing him in, and then head coach bringing Brian Dable, who's and I just think that kind of pairing, works well. Right. You want guys that want to work with each other, and you don't have a chief like Dave Gettleman making decisions in the front office.
Honestly, dude. No, yeah, obviously, I think any really decision that is different than what they have now, huge. Yeah, way better.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think it should be quite the football weekend, and we may have some clarity in terms of some of these vacancies, whether it's general manager, head coach. I really can't wait to see where the dominoes fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I think a very interesting offseason for a lot of teams.
Yeah, a lot on the line. We know both New York teams being 2 picks in the top 10 of the draft. That's huge. So can't wait for that. NFL draft, by the way, April 28th in Las Vegas.
Put it on your calendar, people.
Wow, put it on your calendar.
Love the NFL draft. It's so entertaining.
Quickly, Michael.
Good.
Bills, Chiefs. That is what I'm talking about.
Chiefs.
Let's go.
Chiefs. Michael's a Chief.
And let's go to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right, so what a Thursday it was, Tony, in the NBA.
Dude.
A few games we'll just run through quickly. But the first one, Pelicans, the Knicks. The Pelicans 102, the Knicks 91.
Yeah.
And this game was out of hand from the start. Pelicans led by 25. We have Randall scoring 4 points, booed by the fans. And just another embarrassing loss for this Knicks team. I mean, give me something here, Michael.
I think RJ and all them didn't play well, so Zion sees that they do still need him. It's not all RJ. They need Zion. And I'm not worried, dude. I don't hate him, but I'm just over Julius.
I can't believe this, though. You know what I mean? Because he still production could have fell, but not off a cliff.
Literally off a cliff, dude. 4 points, dude.
Yeah. I mean, what is he in his head? Is that what you think it is, Tony?
Maybe, honestly. I was watching him play. He was very sloppy. I think he had a couple turnovers, dude. He really wasn't shooting well, obviously. 1 for 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Just really poor performance. 30 minutes. Played for 30 minutes, dude. Like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very embarrassing.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing.
I don't know how the Knicks can feel confident even as him as a number 2, possibly even a number 3 option in the future if you want to compete for a championship. It's just like if you can't get consistent production, then you don't belong to be in that conversation.
Right.
It's that simple.
Course. And, it happens.
Right.
It's here and there, bad game. But this is 4 points, dude. I mean.
Unbelievable.
What are you doing?
Unbelievable.
I could do better than that in the NBA.
So that was terrible. And then the Pelicans, though, I have to say, have been picking it up a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe Zion wants to come back. Who knows? So we'll see, what the Knicks do from here. Any moves on the horizon. The other game from last night, we had the Suns 109, the Mavs 101. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, big games. Yeah. Paul 20 and 11, Booker 28 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. But they were down in this game before a really strong fourth quarter where they outscore the Mavericks 35-19. And I just feel like, and this is a game where the Suns didn't have DeAndre Ayton. Right. And I just feel like this proves what we've shown all year long. While the Mavs might play some good games, they're just not good enough. And stuff like this is going to happen in crunch time against a good team.
Yeah, honestly, it was really tough. I was actually watching this game because I did pick the Mavs to win tonight, or last night rather. But, they were leading, I think, going into the fourth quarter, honestly. Unfortunately, I think Luka took like a weird shot to the shoulder. He was out for a little while, getting some heat and attention on his shoulder. So you're not really sure how he was in that fourth quarter, but just 19 points in the fourth quarter, not good at all. But other than that, I mean, Doncic still at 28 points, Porzingis at 18, Brunson at 19. And of course, you got to give it to the Suns. They are a really good team. You mentioned, Booker and Paul having really good games. Paul had no turnovers the entire game. Mm-hmm. So obviously, Paul was really good in ball retention, being a leader, setting a tone for the rest of the team, and they were able to gut it out and get the win.
Yeah. So got to give it to the Suns. They're clearly one of the better teams in the NBA. And one that I'm so excited to read off, Tony, that I hit on the head as the Pacers defeat the Warriors, second straight road win after winning 3 out of 20 to start the season, 121-117. And you look at this, and guys, you don't even know, Tony, Duarte with 27 points, 7 boards, as well as Aaron Holiday, Drew Holiday's brother, 16 points, 5 boards. They trail by 8 at the half. They allow Curry to score almost 40, but they get the W. Tell me that there's not a small indictment here on the Warriors. I know Clay still working back. I understand that. Still should be able to beat the Pacers at home.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Clay's still working back. Obviously, no Draymond. You'd expect, they didn't have a terrible performance. Like you said, Curry had 39. Thompson had only 12 points. Looney with 13. Wiggins with 11. But, it's tough. Obviously, the Pacers it seemed like they had just consistent offense kind of showing from all their starters. I mean, their bench too. You had 2 guys. You had Lamb and Jackson off the bench, each had 14 and 15 points respectively. Obviously, that's
Why, thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee. It's a Friday mood here. Obviously that's what you want out of some bench players, kind of come in, give your starters the rest so they can keep producing the offense they were. And of course, producing offense themselves off the bench is always really good. So, the Pacers played really well. You can't say they didn't,
Yeah, no, you can't say that. But I just feel like, the Warriors, because of their hot start, have been kind of put on a pedestal saying, oh, they're definitely going to compete for a championship. Clay's back, this and that. And I just feel like instead of being possibly the best team in the league, they might be the 3rd, the 4th best team in the league. And I think that's what we need to keep in mind.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Obviously there are, I would say this year even too, there are a lot of competitive teams with similar records to the Warriors. And of course, the struggles the Warriors have gone through with injuries and stuff. But it's tough too, because obviously the Warriors at this point, they have a pretty good legacy. Curry has a great, do they still have the record for the best regular season record?
Yes. 73-9. Never to be broken.
Right. You can argue that there is high expectations for them to be a championship contending team and everything. But yeah, like you said, they have to do better. Maybe you get a little worried at this point, but of course, with a game that that Steph Curry had, with 39 points. If Thompson even had an inkling of what he used to be before he was injured, I mean, it's an entirely different game. And I wouldn't be that worried that, they can get to that spot again,
Yeah. I mean, the one thing in all seriousness, I know it seems like I'm just trying to be funny, but it's like you can relate to this. Me with the Yankees, you with the Mets. If you find yourself saying if a bunch of times, sometimes doesn't get you to where you expect. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. You got to see it.
Right.
It can't be, you can't imagine it. It has to be produced in front of your eyes. And it'll be interesting to see, how Clay, kind of comes back from this long layoff, and if we get some good games. But I would imagine so, but we still just need to see it. I think it's that simple. So full slate tonight, so a lot of games to choose from. As always, Tony, the floor is yours. What do you got for pick number 1?
All right, piggybacking off of you and Mike on the Embiid train here. The Clippers
suck.
Are not good, dude. They're in Philly tonight, playing the 76ers. I mean, I think it's going to be another opportunity for Embiid to score 45 points, 50 points here. I can't really see the Clippers hanging with them at all, really. I mean, I couldn't imagine they could even attempt a little bit to shut down Embiid. Like I said, I think he's going to have a 46-point night. 76ers in a landslide, 118-99.
Love it, love it, love it. All over that, for sure. For my pick, number 1 here, I am going to go with the Detroit Pistons over the Utah Jazz. I believe that Mitchell's not playing again. So with that being said, we saw, what happened last time. The Jazz were out, getting upset. So I think we're going to see more of the same. I just think, despite a very good start and, being a strong team all season, we're starting to see that they're not perfect, at the same time. And, you lose back-to-back games to Houston and the Lakers. And then before that, lose, to Detroit back on the 10th. I just think we're seeing a pattern here. And it's like, I guess, they need to be at full strength. Everybody needs to be on their game. If not, they're prone to upsets. And I think that's what happens here as the Pistons win this one 100-94. And we're going to have 30 points from Cade Cunningham.
Wow. Nice, dude. My next pick is going to be all the way in Milwaukee, dude. The Bulls are visiting the Bucks here. 8 o'clock on ESPN. I think a pretty even matchup at this point between the Bulls and the Bucks. Both teams, I think the Bulls have been 5-5 in their last 10. The Bucks, I think, have been 4-6 or something like that. Struggling a little bit against teams like Atlanta and Toronto. Charlotte are a few of their latest losses. I think between Antetokounmpo and DeRozan, I think it's a pretty high scoring game. We know the Bulls are out, Levine and Ball. I think is what is going to hurt them. In terms of their scoring capabilities. I think all in all, in the end, the Bucks do outscore the Bulls. It's going to be very high scoring. It's going to be close, but I think Antetokounmpo has a big fourth quarter. He has a 42-point game, and the Bucks win it 121-118.
Love it, love it, love it. I completely agree, and I know you agree based on your score here. 10.5 is insane.
Insane.
What are they playing, the Pistons?
Honestly, why is it so? Like, do they really think that because of the Bucks' injuries, like they're not going to be able to score? Like,
yeah, and I guess if they're thinking like, who's going to guard Giannis?
Right.
But I mean,
come on,
it's nuts because the Bulls have been one of the best teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait to watch that one. 8 o'clock, ESPN. And for my second pick here to wrap up our pick segment in basketball, I am going to go with the Charlotte Hornets at home against the Thunder. And this is just a straight up winner. The spread might be a problem, but they will win this game. LaMelo Ball is an insane talent. He's averaging almost 20 points a game, 7.3 assists, 7.3 rebounds, 7.7 assists, shooting the ball well, getting his teammates involved. So I love what he brings to the table. So give me the Hornets here, one of the higher scoring teams in the league, drop 130 on the Thunder, and they win 130-123. as they barely miss covering that 9. But they get a nice win here at home. And I'm going to say LaMelo will have 40, really putting a stamp on his performance and the type of player that he is.
Love to see it, dude. Let's do it.
Love to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Can't wait.
And you know what I can't wait is to talk some National Hockey League.
Frederick, did you get the license plate number on that truck? McDavid, beautiful move.
You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
Remember when the Oilers could actually score?
Oh, man, dude.
What
Still can't believe you picked that.
the hell
Can't believe it.
happened last night as the Oilers lose 6-0 at home, Tony? No offense. What happened?
Lack of offense. I wouldn't say necessarily a lack of offense, but just not any good offense. They still had 40 shots on goal.
Embarrassing. You got to finish.
You have to finish, dude. And I feel like I say this every time with an Oilers loss. They get 35, they get 37, they get 40 shots on goal, and there's nothing to show for it. But the biggest issue, I think, is their defense is so horrible.
Mhm.
Horrible. I think the Panthers scored 3 times in the power play.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing on the power play so much? Why are you on the penalty kill so much? Because they're anxious at this point. They're clearly nervous about playing. They're overextending their sticks. They're hooking people. You saw a few high stick penalties as well last night. They're clearly frazzled. It's going to take a lot, I think, to kind of get them back to center for sure. But their defense, like I was saying, I mean, there were so many times where there was just a Florida Panther in front of the net, totally unguarded, no defense to be found. And, you're not going to get much from your goalie at that point. If the man is right in front of you, if he can just kind of, flick the puck in at that point off a deflection, off a good pass, and there's not much you can really do about that other than, just relying on your defense to do something. And it was obviously getting really embarrassing for the Edmonton Oilers at this point. It was supposed to be, great team off to a great start this season, completely plummeting down to nothing. The fans are tired of it. You had fans throwing jerseys on the ice, throwing $200 jerseys on the ice, fed up with their team. And at this point, dude, it's going to be really tough for the Edmonton Oilers to really pull themselves out of this.
And do you think that Dave Tippett might be out the door sooner than later?
This season, I don't think so. But if they don't pick it up, dude, if they're not able to pull themselves out of this hole they dug for themselves, then I think so. Because, at this point, obviously, like I was saying, your players are frazzled. They're nervous out on the ice. They're clearly not thinking. And it's up to your coach, up to your staff to kind of, like I said, bring their heads back into the game, kind of realize what they're good at, and just tell them that if they just kind of stick with it and execute properly, that they're going to get out of this. So
I guarantee, Tony, we might not find out till down the road after the season, but some scandal happened within this locker room. There's no way that they play this bad. Sorry. Draisaitl is the reigning MVP. We know the talent that McDavid is.
Mhm.
And you could still lose, but not get embarrassed. And the way they were playing earlier in the year, we recapped it many times. They were like basically the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't just happen from nothing.
No, yeah, I think you're totally right. It'd honestly be interesting to see if there was some type of discrepancy in the locker room between some players. And obviously we know that Draisaitl is pretty annoyed,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You never know, but I don't know. I really couldn't imagine there was a tear between players. Maybe it was something with the coaching staff. I don't know, but it's
There's
possible.
something there. And I definitely think sooner than later, Tippett will be out the door. And then just 2 other games from last night. We saw the Bruins 4-3 over the Caps, so getting the job there done at home. And how about the Canadiens taking the Golden Knights to the brink? 4-3, the Knights end up pulling it out. But all of a sudden, it's like we're seeing a new Canadiens team. I don't know.
They're doing a good job generating offense, honestly, as of late. We still see them lose games, but they're losing by what do we got here?
Oilers, the worst team in the world. Connor McDavid and Draisaitl looking fatigued. I mean, yeah.
How can they be fatigued? Like not even like before the All-Star.
No, but I think they're
break. It's been, like,
fatigued
months.
of the team,
just
the
their
results.
nonsense.
I agree with that part of it, but not physically.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, I don't know, dude. At that point, if you're fatigued in how the rest of your team is playing, like it's kind of up to you. I mean, McDavid's the captain, Draisaitl's an assistant captain. Like up to them to heighten the level of the rest of the players.
And I just can't think. At one point, I was advocating for our New York Rangers to acquire those two. No way. We cannot mess with the chemistry.
Oh no, absolutely not. But I mean, it wouldn't be terrible.
Wait till next year, though.
No, yeah, exactly.
I
would do it now.
I don't want one. I don't want a minor move.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We have a lot of good young players in the Rangers. We want to be giving them up for like a McDavid or a Draisaitl right now. No freaking way. But nevertheless, back to the Canadiens. Like I was saying, we still see them losing games, but we do see them losing by one goal and like a 5-4 or 4-3 type of loss, which is good. I mean, it's a step in the right direction for them. Obviously they could generate more offense, but you have pretty good players like Pizzetta and Toffoli who are scoring goals for you. Weidman on the defense generating some offense, as well as Dauphin, who's one of your better centers. But obviously, one big issue, which has been their issue, is defense as well. Mm-hmm. They gave up 4 goals to the Knights. Of course, they did bring it to overtime, but they still ended up losing. So there's still work to be done for Montreal.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think, based on how this season ends, any chance that Ducharme's job could potentially be on the line?
Depending on how it ends, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Canadiens have been a little up and down in the past few years in the league. So I think they stick with him. I think they maybe, depending on how the season ends, I suppose, even if they don't really end very well, I feel they're going to stick with him and try and just rebuild with other players. Because some of their talent isn't quite there. He's definitely working with a tough talent pool. So to have any type of upside in terms of generating offense right now, I think is good.
Yeah,
good look for him.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then we did see the Bruins, like I said, rebound there against the Caps. Mm-hmm. Kind of not too surprising. I think I might even actually picked Washington, but
you did.
Like we said, we know the type of team that the Bruins are. And I don't think this is an indictment on Washington either. Like maybe they're going through a little bit of a lull, but I mean, End of the day, I think they're top 4 or 5 in the country.
Yeah, they have a couple injuries that they're kind of dealing with here, and they're going up against a really good Boston Bruins. The Boston, outshot them 33-17 for the game. We've talked about how good their first and second lines are in terms of generating that offense. They have a solid defense, obviously a great netminder as well. Just want to see his line. See, dude. Olmark has been obviously, playing a lot this season. Only had 17 saves. But, it's not terrible. I mean, Olmark has replaced Rask for his injury. Obviously, Rask is back now, so he doesn't get as much playing time. But, I mean, he did a phenomenal job for the Bruins when Rask was out. He's out for almost, I don't know, it was a week or two ago Rask came back. So, they got really lucky with him in terms of how he stepped up and everything. And now at this point with Rask in net, looking good coming off that hip injury, I mean, it's going to be hard to stop them.
Full speed ahead, just like the schedule tonight. And just something I noticed here before we get to our picks. Carolina, the line has ballooned to -210 against the Rangers. Is this a Georgiev game?
I don't think so. I think Shesterkin is in net. I'll double check.
But just if it is Shesterkin, I mean, isn't that insane? 210?
It is.
After what they did with the Maple Leafs the other night, 160.
Yeah, that is really weird. And again, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they want the Rangers to be bad again. I don't know, dude. It's really weird.
There's nothing
right now. So Shesterkin is slated for tonight. It hasn't been confirmed yet by anyone, but it's likely that he is going to
with the off day yesterday. I mean,
yeah, exactly. There's no reason.
A good Carolina team.
Yeah, there's no reason why he wouldn't be starting. I'm just trying to look. I mean, there's nothing in the injury report right now. What was it before?
I thought it was like maybe 170, which still is high, but it's okay. Carolina, they're at home. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, these are two. I think people have argued that the Hurricanes are a little bit of a better team, but I mean, just the way the Rangers have been playing recently. I mean,
and a little bit better. A little bit better is -130.
Yeah, -210. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, I mean, that does usually happen. And maybe they're thinking, oh, Rangers have been so good, let up spot, this and that. But who knows? But just wanted to look into that. But the floor is yours, Tony. What do you got? Number one.
So, yeah, I mean, let's go with that game. Why not? Rangers are in Carolina tonight. Yes, baby. We know who we're picking. Maybe we're a little biased, but who cares, dude? I say the Rangers take this one. I would say, it's pretty close to start the first couple periods. Maybe Rangers outplayed them in the third. Hurricanes, obviously a very good team. They're second in the Eastern Conference, averaging 6.1 assists per game, led by Tony DeAngelo, who is a former New York Ranger. But nonetheless, even though Sebastian Aho is so good and whatever, and Teravainen, whatever, dude, I don't believe it. It's Zibanejad, it's Kreider, it's Fox. It's usual suspects here, man. I think the Rangers pull it off here. I want to see Reeves get another goal. All right, third goal of the season, third goal in 2 games. Rangers take it 5-3.
Love it, love it, love it. So pumped to watch this game. 2 really good hockey teams.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
For my pick here, number 1, I am going to go with the St. Louis Blues on the road in Seattle. The Kraken. Oh, nice win last night. Whatever. It's going to be the Blues 5, the Kraken 1, and Kiro will have 3 goals.
Love to see it, dude. I don't know about that, though. But anyway, dude.
I mean, you have at least a Blues money line, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So my next pick, dude, and I just saw. Okay. So my next pick is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing the Anaheim Ducks tonight. Ducks, obviously, we know about them, veteran team, whatever. They lost 4 out of 5 right now. They're struggling to score. They got shut out their past 2 games. And to boot, tonight, Corey Perry will be playing in Anaheim the first time since leaving the Ducks. So I think he's gonna have quite a good game here. Let's see the Lightning winning it 4-1, dude.
Yeah,
unstoppable here.
Absolutely agree. And do we have Vasilevsky confirmed?
Confirmed. Let's see. It does say likely here on the website. Where are we? Unconfirmed right now, but likely.
Okay.
So I mean, again, there's really no reason, but it's Friday night.
Yeah.
It's Vasilevsky at night.
So for my pick number 2, and this has the typical trap game written all over it. I'll be the first one to acknowledge this, but I don't care. Going with the Minnesota Wild over the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, when I said that, did you know right away or no? That I was going there? Okay. No, just curious. I mean, minus 120 is, the Blackhawks. I mean, geez. I mean, the Wild, they're one of the better teams in the league.
Right.
So I just think, looking here, Talbot is going to finally have a good game. I feel like he's been a little, he's let up a lot of goals recently, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think as of recently, I think his goals against now is up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as of recently, it's gone up because he's been let up a goal.
It was so good earlier in the year.
Yes, correct.
And I'm just looking here. So actually, he has lost his last 4 starts, but he actually hasn't played since the first. So said he could return to the ice Friday or Saturday. Okay,
he's day to day.
So he's probably not going to play. So there's the 120. But I already went with it, Tony. I'm sticking with it, and I just think offensively, Patrick Kane, but he's more of an assist guy at this point, and I just think the punch that the Wild have with. Say it for me one time. Kaprizov?
Oh, Kaprizov.
Kirill Kaprizov. So 44 points this year, 16 goals, 28 assists, 3 goals tonight, 2 assists, 5-1 Wild. And Kekkonen can get the start. 7-2, 2.58 goals against as a backup.
Yeah, dude, let's go. Love to see it.
So let's go. Definitely pumped to see it. And I just noticed on here, Fleury's actually turned it around a little bit. He's under 3.
He's been looking really good. Again, he was a big problem for the Blackhawks when they started the season. Of course, they have a lot of other issues as well. But Fleury kind of getting into his own here, and I guess maybe just adjusting to how the Blackhawks have played defense or lack thereof, really. So yeah, it's nice to see. Obviously, former Cup winner, dude, did really well for the Knights, did really well for the Penguins. It's nice to see him, kind of get back into it for the Blackhawks.
Yeah. And gonna enjoy this full slate tonight. We got the Wild Blackhawks, that's NHL Network, and then everything else is gonna be on ESPN Plus, and obviously your local broadcasts of the Islanders and the Rangers over on MSG. So
you know what's kind of whack, dude? I was trying to watch the Bruins game last night, and I don't have Nesson.
Oh yeah, I don't have Nesson either, but I'm so glad I don't have Nesson.
What the hell?
But
I just want to watch the game, Brian.
that was just ESPN Plus local game.
Yeah,
I can't do Nesson.
What is this? Why don't
the
I have
accents?
Nesson? We're in Connecticut here. Why don't I have Nesson?
Yeah, but we're too close to New York.
Oh, it's just hogwash, dude.
I mean, come on.
You guys are New England.
But the announcers are brutal.
I don't care. I wanted to watch hockey.
You know Felger and Maz?
What?
The radio show in Boston, Felger and Maz.
No.
Oh my God. I used to, because me, Boston Red Sox stuff,
Right.
Patriots. So in college, I used to call in and it's so funny because they're used to, all the Boston fans calling in. I would only talk about the Yankees and just kind of really throw digs at them. And they used to get so tight and it was just so funny. And I used to mix up where I was from, Brian from Los Angeles and all this stuff. And then it was funny because at Eastern, we did get Nesson, so I would see it on the TV.
Oh,
so it's kind of funny doing that.
Wow, dude, you're a pest, huh? Brian from LA, Brian from Scottsdale.
No, because I just hate the bias. You know what I mean? I listen, as do you, a lot of New York sports radio, and I honestly don't think from ESPN radio, I mean, that's mainly what you listen to, there's that much bias. I feel like they're ripping the Giants, ripping the Jets, even ripping the Yankees, and of course ripping the Mets, right? I mean, the Knicks. Yeah. It's not everything's great.
No, yeah, I would say for the most part, they are unbiased and they don't make stupid excuses as to what's going on with the teams they're doing bad, which is good.
Yeah, so love to see it. A lot of games this weekend. Can't wait for the football. And our favorite time, just quickly, Tony, the leaderboard update over at the American Express. How about Lee Hodges leading this at 11 under par, and one of the pre-tournament favorites, Patrick Cantley, one shot back at 10 under. And just going down the board here, I believe Finau yesterday ended up shooting even par. And let's just see if he's teed off or picked up any shots. Jeez. Okay, so he tees off at 1:30, so a little less than an hour. And then Jason Day had a pretty good day yesterday. He shot 67, 5 under par.
Nice.
And he tees off at the same time, actually. So they're actually going to be in the same group, which will be fun. And then you look towards the bottom of the list, Phil Mickelson, opening round 78. And he's currently through 3 holes today.
That's tough.
As he rallies to try to make the cut, but looking like he has to shoot 65 to make the cut.
Also, look at Harry Higgs, 6 under right now.
6 under par, Tony.
Shot even today, it says.
1 week too late.
I know, it's tough.
But kind of an interesting tournament with the multiple courses and stuff. So should be fun over the weekend. And, my guy Jason Day, I mean, right now, of course, 6 shots back, but hasn't teed off this round. So it'd be nice to see him, get back in the winner's circle, because with golf especially, it's like that confidence just goes sometimes, and you will not get it back until you prove to yourself that you can get to the pinnacle. Kind of like what Tiger did, when he won the Masters and all that before the other injuries. So I just feel like it's imperative, because then you get to a point where, I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you're barely playing tournaments, you're missing cuts, and then you don't care. Kind of like how John Daly just you know what I mean? I feel like it didn't need to go this way. Not that he would have won the Masters and all this stuff, but he could have been way more competitive over the past few years.
Oh, yeah, if he just maybe put in some more work.
Maybe cut down on the Twinkies.
Cigarettes.
But you guys talking about Osaka at the Australian Open tournament, we haven't really covered.
I know, which is a shame,
I know
dude.
Osaka lost, but listen, Doggy said it on Mad Dog Unleashed yesterday. The juice is gone from the tournament without Djokovic. I mean, you take out the favorite right before the tournament starts. It's tough to get that excited about it. I don't think Federer's playing. I guess Nadal is, but who are you getting all up in arms about?
Did you hear that he's trying to sue Australia now? which is pretty crazy.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me either.
But honestly, I have to say, as much as he might have misled this, that, the other thing. At the end of the day, if they were so uncomfortable with this, so unsure about it, they should have just not allowed it in the beginning, and they did, and they have to take ownership of that.
It's tough, dude. But Osaka did lose to Amanda Anisimova, an American player. So maybe a little juice now here. Like one of the American players knocking out, one of the top female players in the world. Maybe Barnes is gonna watch.
Give me Nadal like in a semifinal, and I'll get into it.
By the way, Amanda Anisimova, where is she from, Renee?
Austria.
She's an American tennis player. Renee, think about this. Where is she from?
New Jersey.
She's from Freehold.
Oh, no way.
I know, right? Freehold?
Yeah, Freehold. Great place.
No, it's not. Freehold Mall is cool. That's really about it.
And actually, Tony,
I've been to Freehold Mall many times.
So
I've been more.
Earlier today, about 4 hours ago, Nadal won his match. So he's the 6th seed. He was facing the 28th seed, and I think it's pronounced Kachinovev, and he won 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-1. So he will have a match tomorrow with the Italian, the last name being Manarino. I would think Manarino, maybe Anthony. No?
Fucking better be, dude. Italian guy. Let's go.
Adrian. Adrian.
Adrian.
Wait. Is that the flag or no? Or that's the different flag?
That was like the French flag, dude.
Oh, that's Adrian. Kind of makes a little more sense, huh? Okay, Tony. It's like one of those things.
You know what the Italian flag is, dude?
Some flags look similar, right? Okay, you got me. But yeah, and Derrick Henry says it is embarrassing, unseeded player. But just like with golf, just like with tennis, I feel like these things happen. No one's invincible.
Yeah, no one's invincible. It's really about, and like this, like sports like golf and tennis, obviously everything is on the performance of you. There's no one else playing with you. There's no teammates. There's no coaches, no play calling. You can kind of say like, oh, well, this wasn't good. It's like everything is on your shoulders. And obviously, single players who are obviously highly seeded, like Osaka playing against Anisimova, who's not seeded at all. Could be very big, very easy to overlook that and just not take her very seriously. Think you're going to breeze through it. And then once you kind of realize when you're playing against them that you're in over your head at this point and you're in trouble, it's very hard to get out of it, dude. And I think that's what maybe you saw in that match.
Yeah. And I am also seeing on here the Giants are going to interview Brian Flores. So I mean that's kind of a move we would like. So between him and Dable, I think they're on the right track there. As well as the Jags. I've had a conversation with former Jet quarterback Josh McCown about possibly being their head coach. Seems a little bit of a reach. I think after what happened with Urban, let's bring in a veteran guy, been there before. Hey, if Rich Bisaccia doesn't get hired by the Raiders, who's to say he wouldn't be a good coach for the Jags?
Yeah, you're totally right. I like it.
So we'll see. A lot of moves to be made. Are you guys covering UFC 270? So let me just take a quick look before we go.
Which Mike was here. He's always up on the UFC.
Oh, yes. So let's see. 270 Ngannou, I guess, is fighting. I'll be the first to admit, been off my UFC game a little bit here. Just looking at this card, the names just don't pop. Besides Ngannou, he's going against Cyril Gane for the heavyweight championship. So this is how we're going to cover it, Tony. I'm going to say Ngannou, first round knockout against Gane. So put your money on Gane.
What's the line at? Do you know?
Quick. And then
we close out here.
But as I'm looking this up, as we head into the weekend, the games, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I'll be attending the New York Rangers
right. Tomorrow
game tomorrow.
Okay.
Saturday, they play the Arizona Coyotes. Back-to-back games here. for them Friday, Saturday, bing, bang. So, no overlooking will be done here tomorrow night. I intend to go in there and have
Gorgie
a
game,
swift victory. Definitely a Georgiev game, but no problem still, though. Against the Coyotes, come on.
Problem.
It'll be a swift, easy victory, dude. I'm expecting to chant and yell and scream a lot, and it's going to be a great freaking
And
time.
not bring a hat?
Definitely not bringing a hat, dude. Against the Coyotes, you lose every hat you have. You have to bring 3 hats.
And I have to say, it just shows how off I am on my UFC games. So Ngannou is actually the underdog, plus 130, and Gane 10-0, minus 155. Go with the dog.
Go with the dog, dude.
The dogs are barking.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. What a week. What a show.
freaking week,
what a
dude.
life. And, of course, appreciate the fanfare, the liking, the commenting, the subscribing,
Oh, yeah.
the merch from downtimetv.com, visiting the YouTube page. This guy plastered all over it. But everybody enjoyed their weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.